Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and I'm going to record a rant today. So this rant is going to be my pet peeves about when you go record shopping in an antique mall or a thrift store or a flea market. And these rants aren't going to be about the fact that it's a given that the vast majority of the records you're going to find in those locations completely suck. You're looking for needles and haystacks. Most of the records I wouldn't take home from free. That's not what the rant is about. The rant is a lot about things that sellers do that they don't need to do that makes it less likely that I'm going to buy anything from them. Number one, horizontal records. So you've seen this. You're supposed to store records vertically, up and down, not horizontally. They're horizontal. They're thrown in some Walmart plastic bin. Um, and inevitably, when you search through that bin, there's stuff the inner sleeves are always gone. Sometimes there's stuff that's not even an outer sleeve. There's just records laying there. And it's always crap. And thinking about it, I don't think I've ever actually bought a record that I found that was being stored horizontally. So, it's just a big sign that um, the seller doesn't really care about records. They've got this one bin thrown in their booth with other stuff. This is just crap that they're praying somebody will buy. Sort of related to it is records that are stored in shelves. So maybe in cubes, sort of like I have, rather than crates, so you can't flip through them. It's harder to quickly see what they have. And in particular, there is a seller in a town about 25 miles away from me that has an antique store, and he buys old records. He actually has a fairly decent selection of stuff from the 60s and 70s. It's not, he's got a dollar section with stuff that's either in bad condition or like really undesirable titles. But he has them stored in cubes, sort of like how we store stuff. At least he has the stuff alphabetically, so you can go, oh, I want to buy some Deep Purple, or I want to buy some Joni Mitchell. You could find them that way, but I would still rather flip through. Um, so, um, Number three, no prices. So this is especially when you're in the antique mall situation, um, where there might be dozens of booths in this place, and whatever you buy, you're going to bring up to the register. The cashier doesn't have any control over what the prices are. So if there's something with no price on it, they don't know what the price is. They're not even going to sell it to you. Maybe they'll even accuse you of taking off the price tag. So it's like, if your stuff isn't marked with a price, then I'm just not even going to bother looking at it. Number four, overpricing your records based solely on the name of the artist, no matter what the condition is. Um, and so, um, Beatles records in our area, Elvis records, it's pretty much an order of magnitude increase. There's a lot of sellers that think those certain names they can tack on an extra zero. Um, like a sign that you're going to run into this is that um, the first record in the crate. It's Beatles, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. You're thinking, oh, cool, this isn't, in my area, it's Jim Nabors, Ray Price, terrible white gospel singers. If you watch Robert Fiffen, he's always talking about Andy Williams, Al Martino, Ray Conniff singers. Okay, it's a Beatles record. Um, it's in an outer sleeve. So that's usually a sign that the people know a bit about pricing, or at least are not just trying to get a dollar or two for stuff. And so there's this Beatles, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's $50. It's in average condition. It's nothing special pressing. It's like, are you serious? No way. And then sort of related to that, number five, pricing giving absolutely no consideration to the condition. So, okay, I find something maybe in a record dealer's booth. it's $10, but it was something that I'm interested in. Then you pull it out and there's a huge scratch on it. It's something I'd be embarrassed to sell for $1. I mean, that's just very off-putting when something like that happens. At least if it's in bad condition, sell it cheap or don't sell it at all. Here's another one I saw recently. Something that's in shrink wrap that is supposed to look like it's like never opened near mint, where that's obviously bullshit. And so there was one I saw in our local peddler's mall. So somebody had a booth. There was a Blackfoot record for like $5, and it was in shrink. So Blackfoot, I'm talking about Blackfoot Southern Rock Band, not Steve Carlson's favorite Zamrock band. And I'm not huge into Southern rock, but I'm thinking, oh, if it's new, fresh $5, maybe I'll buy it. I flip it over onto the backside. The shrink's all bunched up, so you could tell when they were putting the shrink back on, they didn't do a good job. Plus, there's a big coffee stain on the back of the album. So this is obviously not some mint, near mint, never unsealed record. This is just bullshit. Related to it, number 7, taping up your 99-cent CDs so I can't open them up to see if they're scratched, or to open it up to see if it really is U2 rather than Garth Brooks inside the CD. It's like, come on, you're selling CDs for $1. You don't need to tape them up. Number 8, 45, 7 inches in no sleeves at all, just laying around. I realize that the original sleeves are very commonly lost. At least put them in generic sleeves. I've bought 45s in generic sleeves. If 45s aren't in sleeves at all, they're usually in horrible condition. Don't buy them. Related to that, number 9, I've seen 45s like bundled together. So I saw this thing where there was probably like 10 or 15 of them, and they were like tied up, so you can't separate them. And then there was like a price for the entire bundle, and it's like, it's not really how I want to buy stuff. And related to that, also be my last one, number 10. I saw the mystery box. So somebody, it was, I think it was like $30 or $35. It was basically a cardboard box. It was all sealed up. It had signs, don't open, don't unseal. And then it said 1940s, 45s, and 78s inside. And the thing is, okay, first of all, I mean, I don't collect 1940s music. I don't even have a turntable that plays 78s. But the thing is, even if I did, even if that was my thing, collecting that music, basically this sealed up box where I have no idea who the artists are, I have no idea what the condition is, it basically leads me to believe that it's a box of shit. Because this is probably the box of all the stuff that they've had for years that nobody has ever bought. And so, not really looking for the mystery box when I'm at the antique mall, thrift store, or flea market. So, if you have any of your own pet peeves, rant about them down below, or if you have something cool you found you want to brag about, you can do that as well. So, talk to you another time.